So yesterday, we were talking in our sharing session when we were toasting some marshmallows, and Eileen said that nature just keeps on growing, right? And it's so true. You kind of look outside and you see there's just this life happening, right? It just keeps on growing. There's always new shoots, there's always new leaves, flowers. And so this is one truth of nature. It's kind of growth, coming into being, birth. And then there's the other aspect, which is part of the same process, and that is decay, endings, death. And this is also a truth of nature. When we did our first session and we wrote down these words about nature, we had this, beautiful positive spin. And then we had the reality check. Nature is beautiful and scary. Nature is supportive of life and destructive of life. There's these two aspects. And as humans, sometimes we get stuck on the whole living thing and we forget about the whole dying thing. We live as if we'll live forever. We think we'll wake up tomorrow. Most of the time we'll be right. One day we'll be wrong. All of us began our day thinking, I'm going to be alive all day long. There's some suttas, some teachings of the Buddha called Maranasati, Death Contemplation. And it's kind of like an anxious person's handbook. It's like this monk in the forest. And it's like anything could happen. I could trip over, I could get bitten by a snake, I could get food poisoning, I could fall over a cliff. And then that would be it. It would be very difficult to practice. And so the death contemplation isn't this morbid, depressive, gothic kind of thing. This is a reminder to live while we can, right? To live well while we can. And a repositioning of our purpose, how we're living our life. And it's also a reminder of natural processes at play which we are subject to, not immune from. And so becoming familiar with the possibility, the probability, the certainty of death, it helps us develop some acceptance when it happens to those around us and when it happens to ourselves. And so this practice that we're doing comes from the Satipatthana Sutta, which is the sutta we have been working with over the course of the retreat. We've been doing breath contemplation, looking at the different postures, looking at the parts of the body, looking at the elements. And then the next phase is these 9 cemetery contemplations, where we visualize a corpse lying down on the ground in front of us, and we go through these various stages of decomposition. So when you're walking around nature here in the forest, it's basically just all compost, isn't it? Right? Everything is decaying, everything goes back to the earth. Sometimes you come across a dead bird in the forest, or a dead kangaroo or something like that. And these are powerful reminders of the ever-present nature of death. And so we see this in nature. We don't often see it in our cityscapes. We don't see dead bodies on the street. We don't see dead humans. So in the old days, at the time of the Buddha, seeing a dead body was quite common. So we visualize this dead body and we visualize these processes of decay. If at any time you become uncomfortable doing this contemplation, just sit with it for a little bit. If you become really uncomfortable, distressed, then it's okay. You can get up, go for a walk outside in the sunshine. Come back when you're ready. Okay, let's do it. So we just take a few moments to settle back in. So there's 9 contemplations, but I might squish a few together just to save time as they're quite repetitive. Every being that is born must die. I have not gone beyond death. I cannot escape death. Death will come. So visualizing in front of you, in your mind's eye, a body, a stranger's body, no one you know. lying there on the ground. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 days old. Lifeless. Still. After a few days, this body starts to bloat as the gases build up inside. The stomach distended. Bloated. And tinged with blue, the skin marbled as that blood which used to flow now pools. That air trapped inside, no breath to move it. This body has no life left in it. It's cold, stiff, and beginning to decay. The process of growing and living has changed. Now dying and decay. Part of the same process, a natural process. And my body, at the end of my life, will be just like that. My breath will stop. My body become cold, lifeless. Bloated and blue. And it's okay, it's normal, natural, because I have not gone beyond death. I am subject to death. So this is my inescapable fate. And this process continues. That body lying there, now becomes food for many animals. Jackals, dogs come, eat the flesh. Birds come. Crows, vultures come, peck at the organs, the eyes. Ants come, crawling inside. Flies, maggots, worms. It's okay, it's only natural. It's only natural that this body becomes food for many creatures. And there's nothing I can do about it. My body is just like that. I have not escaped death. This will be my fate. The process continues. That body, having been torn open by animals, the skin exposing the body within, we see in that body flesh, blood, bones, tendons. What is usually hidden has been revealed in this process of decay. My body is just like that, with flesh, blood, bones, tendons, holding it together. I have not gone beyond death. I am still subject to death. this will be my fate. And over time, that blood dries up. Leaving bones without flesh, without blood. These bones held together by tendons. All that's left of that human body is bones and tendons, as if clinging to a human shape, like a puppet with strings. My body is just like that, held together by bones and tendons. And when the skin, the flesh, the organs, the blood have gone, all that remains is this skeleton, held together by tendons. So this will be my fate. And over time, this process, this normal, natural process, continues. Those tendons becoming dry have snapped, decayed, and those bones disturbed by animals, water or wind, those bones now lie scattered. Over there, a foot bone. Over there, a leg bone. Here, a hand bone, there a rib, over there jaw, over there a hip, over there the skull. That human shape has been fractured, shattered, and now these bones lie scattered. My body will be just like that. My bones will lie scattered, my form shattered, gone. There's nothing I can do about it. I am still subject to death. This will be my fate. And this process continues over time. At first, those bones are white, bright, like a conch shell, white, bright. Now they lie scattered, now in a heap, pushed together, white and bright. But over time, those bones exposed to sun and rain and wind, those white bones become yellowed, browned, become fragile, decrepit. And my bones will be just like that. They'll change from white to brown. They'll lie there in a heap. And there's nothing I can do about it. I am subject to death. This is my fate. and far into the future, many years from now, those bones will decay and decay, deteriorating until there's nothing left but a pile of dust. My body will become just like that. Nothing more than a pile of dust. Because I am subject to death. This will be my fate. Why then? Why do I cling so strongly to this body, this idea of me, of mine, I? Why do I cling so strongly? When there's nothing I can do. Because of these natural, normal processes that any being that is born will grow, will change, will stay for a while, will get sick, decay, and die. I am subject to death. This will be my inescapable fate. So spend a few moments now going through these stages again in your mind. That body, 2 or 3 days old, bloated, blue, lifeless. then opened up and eaten by many types of animals, jackals, dogs, birds, insects, exposing the insides, the bones stained with blood, little bit of flesh. Those bones held together by tendons. The flesh and blood gone, the bones held together by tendons. Eventually, those tendons decay, those bones scatter, body parts everywhere. And then in the future, those bones, now in a heap, at first white, bright, and then yellowing, decaying, brown. Eventually, becoming nothing more than dust. So go through these stages again for a few minutes, understanding this is normal, natural, and inescapable. So seeing in this way, understanding that all beings are subject to death, seeing the brevity of life, the certainty of death, ask yourself, How am I living my life? And now, coming back to this place here and now, surrounded by our good friends, loved and cared for. We can relax our awareness. Arising from our meditation. And when you're ready, gently opening the eyes. So welcome back. You're alive, right? Isn't that good? Sometimes we need a little reminder. So this is one of the lessons of the forest, that there is life, but there is also death.